Hello friends, this is part 27 of Angular 14 series, and in this session we'll discuss about the select, simple select. Okay, so as I mentioned here in the chip, so chip will be in the next session, but before that now we need to know about the autocomplete with the simple in implementation. Okay, so let's get into the code. What I have done so far, let me summarize a little bit. Okay, so here customer service I have created. So earlier it was with the grid data grid service, but now that customer to fetch the customer list, we have changed that code inside this customer service, and here customer service we have injected only. Okay, and then go to the model part. So here is the model. So I have created a class called grid for the default value initialization, and already we had that igrid. So we have I have implemented that igrid part, and also I have created one more class that is called custom filter, and that filter already implementing the custom filter that is already was there. Okay, so we have initialized with the default value. Now next thing is I have created a new module that is called select module. Inside this select module I will create a different kind of selection. So first of all I have created one autocomplete component, and here also select module actually I have registered the customer service. That's all. Okay, and if I go to the select component here, one design, small piece of design here. If I go to the auto complete here, only in the text design, and if I go to the autocomplete component, the basic structure for this code I have written. That is, one is the customer service injection and customers observable to fetch the customer list and the selected customers. Okay, and what are the rails? Filter customer, one input parameter is there, and by default that custom filter is having with the value per page 20 and page 1. And next thing is that for searching data on key down and on custom filter, already we discussed these topics on the grid custom filtering, that part. So nothing fancy on this code, but here only see as we are loading the customers, this load customer actually is returning igrid. So from igrid we'll concentrate the data rows only for this sample. Okay, so nothing, no column and no other total data rows will not entertain on for this example. Okay, so that is what we are actually mapping and only considering the rows. So that rows array actually we are storing inside this observable. Okay, and so I guess this is quite simple, and let's go to the HTML and let's write the code. So if I go to the material library, here first option is the autocomplete. Okay, so sometimes in our practical industrial project, what happens, sometimes this kind of text box would be there, and if I search something, the data will filter with from server side, right? So this below 1 2 3, these options are coming with the suggestion panel. We can call it as suggestion panel, and the above one is the input box. Okay, so how to implement this small implementation so that we can understand properly, and we can further customize based on our requirement. Okay, so let's start now. Just go to this area, and instead of copy all the code from here, just try to write from your side. Okay, so first of all, mat form field, and here I will write mat ng model. Okay, first of all I will check with the ng model, and after that I will check with the form control using reactive form. Okay, so here then mat input directive I should use to get the design and other functionalities. Then I would like to put some text on the placeholder, like and let's save this change. Now go to the browser. Now if I go to the select, here I can see that the label and the placeholder is coming. Okay, now next thing is, see, first of all if I refresh the page, no call happened, right? Now for the suggestion box, what I will do here, mat auto complete, sorry, mat autocomplete, that component is there, and inside that mat autocomplete we can place the mat option. Okay, and this mat option I will loop through, and here customer will have that properties cust name to display, and let's save this. Now if I see the how much data, 20 data actually came, and here if I click that what is called suggestion panel should show. Okay, how to achieve that? For that, okay, so first of all I would take one reference here. Let's say customer suggestion panel reference. That the reference will have the instance of mat auto complete, and this is for from material only. Let's copy this, and here I will write mat auto complete with this, and so let's copy this part here. Actually I am giving the reference, okay, to the input. Okay, if I click on the input, then which panel to be triggered. Okay, so if I click on this input box, then this reference will try to find out inside this DOM, and it will show the suggestion box. Okay, let's see that change. If I click, see the list is coming. Now next thing is, if I select, see I'm selecting no data is actually added to the text box, right? So now next thing is, what I need to do, and I will use the ng model. So if I type on the text box, then it will be here only. And now next thing is assign the value. Okay, here value. So this customer dot customer code, save the change, and now if I select, see the code is coming instead of customer name. Okay, but I want the customer name to be visible on selection inside this text box. Here function sorry, display with one attribute is there. Okay, this attribute, let me decorate with the bracket, and here to fetch the name of the selected customer, I have written one function here, display customer name. Just pass this. Okay, so how it is it will work, once you select any of the option, that instead of this customer code, I would like to pass the total object, one customer object, and here once you select one customer, then that customer will come as an as a parameter here. Okay, so from that I am actually taking the customer name, so it will return to the customer name here, and it will display. Okay, so that override rule already is there in the material. Now let's select. Now see, that is there. Okay, let me attach. the event. Okay, already about this event we are aware of this. Now let me quickly copy this and paste it over here, and similarly here let's save this change. And if I click and suppose let's say type something, now if I check the input model here, see the search string is there. Okay, so now next is filter. Already we made the change for filtering. Let's say 129, that value is coming, and let's remove all the value, then the previous value will come as expected. Okay, now this way we can achieve with the searching as well as to show the what is called suggestion box. Okay, so this is called autocomplete component. And so if we use the ng model, definitely we need to use this to event, sorry, on key down. Okay, so definitely we need to use this to event to make live search. Okay, now next thing is, if we use the form control, then what would be the benefit over the ng model? Okay, so to achieve that, let me copy this code and paste it the below one, and let's comment the above one. Okay, here I will write from control, and this video maybe will be lengthy, but it will helpful for you. Okay, now instead of the ng model and this input all the things, I will remove all the part, and I will use one more variable that is called, let's say, search control, and which will be type of form control, and this form control I will initialize with the blank null string, that is called search control equal to new form control with default value blank. Now this search control I would use here using with the help of form control attribute. Okay, now if I decorate with the decorator here bracket, now it is saying can't bind to form control since it is not a known property. Okay, why it is showing? So we have one shared module here. So here we have the forms module, but this form control actually belongs under the reactive form. So that is basically part of reactive. Okay, so that is why we need to use that reactive forms module. Now that error has gone. Now let's save the change. And next thing is this dot search control dot on value change. Okay, on the text box, what I'll do, I will write I will subscribe the, if I mouse over on this value change, actually it is returning an observable. I can do subscribe. So here on subscribe, maybe value will come, and here I will pass that our filter customer private method, and will pass what is called filter customer along with the search string. I will pass the value here. Let me get inside the next line. Okay, so now let's save this change. Now see, first time data came. Now if I type something, see, on each letter typing the call is going on. Some call actually also in cancelling. So now, but this is not the right case. On every letter typing, call is going on. Okay, we need to stop that. So already we did that with the help of what is called ng model with by using this to method, I mean to event, that is called key down and input. And but here for observable we have another option, that is called, I will use that pipe and let's say debounce. Okay, so debounce time operator is there. Okay, so here I will mention 500 millisecond. After 500 millisecond call should go. Okay, now let's save this change. Now if I type something, see, no call is happening. Moment I stop, then call is going on. Okay, as we did for ng model. So similar way we can achieve. Then why should we use the form control instead of ng model? Yeah, so if we use the ng model, then the line of code so will be more for the live search, and but for form control the line of code will be less. Okay, so if I use the form control, then no need this two, I can remove this and see here 1 2 3 6 whatever, if I type something, the search will happen, right? So the number of line of code will be less if I use the form control. Also form control actually returns an observable on value change, so we can easily detect the change, and also we can use the lots of rxjs operator on the observable. So many options we will have, so that is why we can use the form control. Okay, so based on your requirement, so my suggestion would be, if it is simple form and live search to be there, then definitely we should use the form control. And also form control very helpful for the dynamic form. Okay, so based on some condition, other control to be generated, those part also I will show you in my upcoming session. That's all for the day, and next session with some other selection with material multi selection with the search. So those are the things. So for that stay tuned and be safe. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.